There are lots of things you should be doing inside of your Pinterest account, but more importantly, there are a lot of things that you probably should not be doing inside of your Pinterest account. We're going to be going over 18 of the do's and don'ts of Pinterest in today's video. This is going to be rapid fire. Let's jump in. Number one, do name your files the keyword that you want to rank for. For example, this is a pin that I have right here, and I am trying to rank for the keyword black mirror wall. You can notice that I have the file name named black mirror wall, and when I go to actually download this or schedule it, the file name will end up being black mirror wall essentially. Now, the reason why this is important is because Pinterest uses not only the image as metadata, but also the file name as metadata. This is another way that you can add keywords into your pins. Number two is do check the trends tab weekly, monthly, or maybe even daily for your specific topic. Things change a lot in the Pinterest trending tab, and I recommend you looking at this very often because if you can get on top of a trend, you can really grow your account a lot. On top of that, a lot of people don't come down here and visit this little Pinterest predicts thing. So if you click down on the bottom here, there will be lots of predictions that Pinterest has based on the data that they pull together on all of the users. And essentially, if you scroll down here, you can see here are some of the things that they also predict in the year 2022 that is going to be happening. Curved apparel, dopamine dresses, puff love, oh my goth, like all these different things that you can go through. And like for the goth, for instance, if we click inside of here, it talks about the goth casual apparel is up 90% in the search term. So go through and look at these and make sure that see if there are any related to your niche. Do number three is go through and complete your profile. I know this is a gimme, but I think it's important to always remind people to add a photo, add your name, add an about section where you sprinkle in keywords. Don't just go through and keyword stuff, but make it like a natural, cohesive sentence. And make sure you do complete your profile inside of here. Number four is do create at least 5 boards inside of your account. And if you aren't sure which boards to create, make sure to go through and do some keyword research. That's a bonus tip right there. Make sure you're doing your keyword research when you're creating your boards. If you don't know how to do keyword research, I recommend using a tool called Pin Inspector, or I have a full video on how to do keyword research for Pinterest that you can check out as well down below in the description. But make sure you get at least 5 boards inside of here with at least 20 pins inside of them. And if your boards aren't complete and you're still working on them, tip number 5 is do make sure you utilize the secret boards feature. You'll notice here that I have a board right here that has 5 pins that I'm still working on building that is secret right now. Another one right here that it has 13 pins. I just don't think they're ready or have the potential yet to make them public. And so I don't want to make it look like it's an incomplete board. So typically my rule of thumb is around 20 pins and then I make it not secret anymore. So keep that in mind. Number 6 is do make sure you complete, as going along with completing your profile, make sure you come over here and add a description to your board. You can come through and add the name and the description as well. Same thing, you don't want to go through and keyword stuff this. Make sure it's an easy sentence, a sentence that actually makes sense for a human, but make sure you complete your board with the description. Do number 7 is to create both image pins and video pins or idea pins inside of your account. Little personal story is when I was creating my Pinterest account, I was doing both at the same time and growing very rapidly, but I noticed I was growing more from the idea pins. And so I started to ignore just regular Pinterest image pins. And as a result, as I started to look at my account, I stopped getting less and less clicks to my blog, but my Pinterest account was still growing, but I wasn't getting the traffic to my blog that I like to see. And after evaluating my strategy, I realized that I need to be utilizing both idea pins to grow my Pinterest account and then the image pins to help drive traffic away from my account. So it's kind of like a 1-2 punch, and I recommend that you adopt that strategy so you don't make the same mistake that I did and completely ignore either the idea pins for growth or the image pins for traffic. Number 8 is do make sure that you are engaging with your comments, posts, different things inside of the platform. If you're looking to grow, getting people and your followers comments and liking the things that they're doing as well is an easy way to build a community, a loyal community that supports you in everything that you're building and doing. Number 9 is do use multiple images to promote the same blog. What I mean by that is, as you can see here in my feed, I have this one right here for a fireplace step-by-step guide. And then this image right here also goes to the exact same blog post, but you can see the images are slightly different. Same with this one right here, the 6 tools all DIYers should have, pointing to the same blog, but different images essentially. So don't be afraid to get different images for your same blog and push people there as well. Now, I'm not saying to go and spam your blog essentially with a million different images, but it is good to have multiple variants so you can test to see what's working, and also testing different formats and templates as well. Number 10 is do pin regularly. I always have a hard time saying that. Regularly. Whatever regularly means for you, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, just get a schedule and stick to it. And number 11 is do schedule out those posts. It makes posting regularly way easier and a streamlined process. Now, for me personally, I am actually using both Canva and Tailwind right now, as you can see, to go through and schedule out some of my pins, going back and forth between the two of them and learning of the pros and cons, because I've had a lot of people ask me which one do I prefer over Canva or Tailwind. So I will be creating a full video on the pros and cons of Tailwind and Canva when it comes to scheduling out your pins here shortly. But that's for another day. So if you would like to get your hands on Canva or Tailwind, I do have links down below that you can go through and sign up to get started on that. So now we've talked about some of the do's inside of Pinterest. Let's move on to the do nots. Do not only pin your content to boards. As you see, here's one of the boards that gets the most traffic for me. And there are a lot of my pins inside of here, but there are also a lot of other people's pins inside of this board. Do not number 2 is do not use a personal account when it comes to Pinterest. Almost every single time you're going to want to use a business account. If you aren't sure if you're on a business account or if you want to switch from a personal to a business account, all you need to do is come over here to the top and then go to not to business settings, go to settings, and then come over here to account management. And from there, you can convert to a business account, or if you're on a business account, you can convert to a personal, but you're almost always going to want to be a business account because it gives you access to analytics and all sorts of other things as well. Do not number 3 is do not leave boards incomplete. We already kind of covered this one, so we're just going to glaze right over that and head to do not number 4, which is don't use too many hashtags, or don't use hashtags really at all. Hashtags don't have very much function inside of Pinterest anymore. They used to, but now they almost look kind of spammy. So I recommend if you do use hashtags, use them very sparingly. And even when you're using a few of them, they don't really make that big of a difference. Do not number 6 is do not mix niches. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but if you really want to grow your Pinterest account and become a leader in your industry, you're going to want to stick to one niche. If you use your Pinterest account for personal things and want to pin stuff so that you can reference it later, I encourage you to take advantage of secret boards. That way the people that are following you are not seeing specific things. As you can see right here, I have this shirts idea pins that has nothing to do with my niche at all, but it's just something that I was going through and doing for a personal use cases. And I went and actually just put that as a secret board. So stick to your niche. I know it's sometimes hard and I know it's not a popular opinion, but in the long term, it will help you grow faster. Do not number 6 is do not pin all of your pins into one board. Make sure that you are pinning your pins across multiple boards and that you have multiple boards as well. If you just have one board that has all 100 of your pins, that is not helpful. And it also makes it harder for the Pinterest algorithm to serve out your content when people are searching for it and to rank inside of search. And do not number 7 is another maybe obvious one for some, but one that I do want to point out and highlight is do not steal content. Do not take somebody else's TikTok video or somebody else's Instagram reel, download it and upload it as your own Pinterest account. The true way to growing is actually creating your own content. Eventually Pinterest does find these kind of things and it flags your account, or it makes it so you can't monetize the content in things like the Pinterest Creator Program. So if you are thinking about starting a Pinterest account, I encourage you and just remind you to please use your own content when you are creating that, if you really want to build a loyal audience and true growth. And there you have 18 Pinterest do's and don'ts. But to be honest with you, this video is kind of incomplete because it's more just telling you what you can and can't do, but it doesn't really show you how to do it. So if you want to learn how to actually do these things, I encourage you to check out this video right here, and we'll see you in the next one.